right, thank you for joining me here today, CSC members. So this is a whole workout routine, full body. We should have already done our warm-up, so now that we are warmed up, our body heart rate is up, blood is pumping. Let's go ahead and get into this workout routine. I have a chair nearby if you need to do any of these exercises seated, but most will just be in standing. And then I do have some weights nearby. Some of these that we can do with some weights. I'm going to go ahead and grab the weights nearby. And then keep your water nearby too. I like to structure this with 3 to 4 different sets. And then within each set, there are 3 to 4 exercises. And we'll do each one about 30 seconds. And then typically we'll repeat that whole set, but I'm not going to today. Just go ahead and pause the video and then rewind it and do all the exercises again for yourself, okay? Let's go ahead and get into set number 1. I'm not using weights for this set. Let's go ahead and just get into the first exercise. We're going to do a squat and then come up and tap each foot. So squat, tapping with my right foot, squat, tapping with my left foot. Again, get as low as you can. If you're in the chair, just go ahead and tap side to side with your feet. Let's do one more on each foot here. Good. Last one. Good. Come back to the center, shake it out if you need to. Let's go ahead and do some leg kicks. So I'm going to take my opposite hand, reaching across to my opposite leg here. Now I'm not as flexible to touch my toes. If you're able to, great. I'm just touching right below my knee here. Let's just do some leg kicks with reaching. Doing some weight shifting. Good, just like we did in our warm-up, continue to focus on your deep breathing throughout all these movements. Good, let's do one more on each leg here. Good, come back to the center. Shake it out if you need to. We're gonna do some bicycle kicks. Normally you do this as a core exercise laying down, but we're gonna do it in standing. I'm gonna have my hands on my head, kind of right behind my ears here. I'm gonna come up and crunch with my knee and then reach across the opposite elbow. They do not have to touch. We're kind of just doing this marching motion, but as well engage your core. You can do this by bringing that belly button in back to your spine. In the chair, it would look like the same thing. Marching up as much as you're able to march that knee up, and then bending down and reaching across for that crunch. Come back in standing. Let's do a few more crunches here. Good. All right, come back to the center here. Take that deep breath. Maybe feeling like your heart rate's starting to get up there. Get that breath under control. We did a lot of crunching, bending over, a lot of pressure on our lungs. Let's go ahead and do one more exercise for this set. I'm gonna have a slight bend in my knees here, bending at my hips, keeping a nice flat back here. I'm gonna do a Y raise. So I've got my thumbs pointed up, and my arms are going out in a Y position. Good, this is a shoulder burner for sure. Let's do a few more Y raises here. Whew, good, come back to the center. Do some shoulder rolls if you need to. Shake it out. Go ahead and pause the video here and rewind it to do all of those exercises one more time through if you would like. Otherwise, we'll get into set number 2 for right now. Go ahead and grab a quick drink of water, pause this video too, and take a quick breather too. So this next exercise we're gonna do for set number 2 is we're gonna do kind of that marching position too as well. And we're gonna come down with our arms, kind of doing a crunch almost. If you have a TheraBand at home, you could wrap it around your arms and wrists here to have that resistance. If you're in the chair, you would just continue this marching motion and coming down with your arms just like this in this crunch. You can pretend to hold a box here to work that mind and body muscle together. Good, let's do a few more here. Good. Come back to this center. We're gonna stand up nice and tall. We're gonna have a stabilizing leg here, and we're gonna do some toe taps. So we're gonna tap forward to the side and behind. Forward to the side and behind. Your tap should be really light with your toes, as a lot of our weight is on this stabilizing leg. If that's a little bit difficult, it's fine to shift your weight forward, backwards, and to the side as well. Good. Now I'm going to switch my feet right here. Stabilize on my right leg, forward to the side and behind with my left leg. Now if you're in the chair, again, single leg doing this movement, tap forward to the side and behind. You'll just need more of that hip movement in the chair here. And tapping out with your heels okay too. Continue our tapping, let's do a few more here. Last one. Good. Come back to this center. Shake out what you need to. We're gonna do a squat. My feet are gonna be a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. We're gonna do a squat and then reach up and across. Squat and reach up and across. I'm coming up on my toes a little bit of the same side that I'm reaching up and across. In the chair, just focus on reaching up and across with your arms. Great, let's do a few more here. Good, come back to the center. We're gonna have a really wide stance here for this next one. Wide stance, arms are gonna be out to the side here. We're gonna bend down and touch the opposite foot here. If you're not able to touch your toes, just come down and touch your shin or right below your knee or even your knee. Then come back up, then down. Continue to focus on your breathing with each movement here. Great work. Do a few more here. Last one. Great work. Come back to the middle. Let's do a quick deep breath here. Inhaling through the nose. And then exhale through your mouth. We did a lot of bending over, adding a little bit of pressure on our lungs here. So let's do that deep breath. Get control of your breathing again. Let's go ahead and get into set number 3. For this set, I do have weights paired with it. Feel free to grab those weights if that's what you're going to use. And if you don't have weights nearby, you can use water bottles or household items like soup cans. And then if weights are a little bit too much, just use your own body weight too for that resistance. So let's go ahead and get into set number 3 here. Feel free to pause this video and take a quick breather and grab a drink of water. So for set number 3, our first exercise, we're going to curl up and then shoulder press. Come back down and uncurl. So my feet are about shoulder width apart. I have a slight bend in my knees. Curling up, and as I do my shoulder press, I'm rotating those weights towards you, and then pressing up to the ceiling, coming back down and rotating those weights back in, palms facing me, and then opening them back up again. So curl, and press. Come back down and uncurl. Make sure when you're doing your shoulder press, you want to have a nice neutral spine. You don't want to curl that spine in too much and cause more issues. Let's do one more curl and press here. Good. Do some shoulder movements if you need to shake them out. Our next movement, we're going to do a hamstring workout and bending right at our hips here. So my feet again are about shoulder width apart. I'm going to have a slight bend in my knees here. I'm going to hold my weights close to my chest. Again, you do not need to use weights for this movement. We're just going to bend right at our hips and then come back up. For this movement, really focus on pushing those hips back, keeping a nice flat spine, and then coming back up, driving those hips forward. As you come down, you want most of your weight to be on the heels of your feet, almost like your toes can just lift up and then come back up. A lot of your weight is going back and you should feel it in your hamstring as you go back. Keeping kind of an upward gaze as well. Good. If you're in the chair, it would look similar. You can come to the edge of your chair, have straight legs, and then just bending forward and coming back up. Let's do one more. We were doing that quite a bit, so let's do one more hip flexion movement here. Really feeling the hamstrings and come back up. Great work. We're going to keep with that kind of bent over position here. Nice flat back, and we're going to do a row. So arms down at our side. We're bringing them straight up right along the path of our thighs here. And then bring them up to bend those elbows kind of at 90 degrees right there. Great work. Focus on pinching your shoulder blades together as you bring those weights up and those shoulders back. Good, let's do a few more here. Last one. Good. Come back up to the center. Those are all the exercises for set number 3. Go ahead and pause this video and rewind if you want to do all of them one more time through. And then pause this video too to take a quick breathe in and grab a drink of water. And we'll get on to set number 4. Continue to do a deep breath to get control of your breathing and that heart rate. We'll get into set number 4 now. Continue to use those weights if you wish to. Feel free at any point to set them down as well. So this first movement we're going to do, feet about shoulder width apart. We're going to squat and then rotate and then punch to that side. Squat, rotate, hips and shoulders pointing that direction, and then punching out right in front of me. Good. If you're in the chair, just focus on rotating that trunk and punching to this side, engaging your core, bringing that belly button back to that spine. Good. If it's too much on your arms and shoulders to punch straight out in front of you, you can punch down too. That's a little bit easier, less gravity. Great. Let's do one more on each side here. Good. Come back to the center. This next exercise, we'll stand up nice and tall. Give our lungs a little bit of chance to breathe here. I'm going to hold my weights by my chest. You can also hold them down by your side. We're just going to do some calf raises here. So coming up on our toes, working that calf muscle. Have a slight bend in those knees. If you're in the chair, you would still just come up on your toes just like this. If you want to add some resistance, you can put it on your legs here. Good, let's continue to do some more calf raises here. Great work. Again, you can hold the weights down by your side like this. Good. Let's do one more here. Come back to the center. I know my calves are burning. Shake those out if you need to. We'll do one last exercise for this workout today and for set number 4. Again, we're going to go back in that slight bend position, slight bend in the knees, slight bend in the hips. Nice neutral spine here. We're going to start with our weights up here like this, have a little bit more bend, and then we're going to bring them straight back, straightening out that elbow here. This is working our tricep muscles here. Good. If you're in the chair, just go ahead and be bent over a little bit, and then still do this movement on the side of your chair. If it's too much to be bent over on your back and your hips, you can do this movement behind your head, just like this, and then straightening it up. You can do both of them at the same time, or just one at a time. Let's go ahead and finish up with 2 more here. Last one. Good. Slowly come back down. Come back to the center here. I'm going to set my weights down. Let's do one last big deep breath. Inhaling on the way up and exhaling on the way down. Good. Let's go ahead and get control of our breath work more and then get our heart rate back down. That concludes this workout for today. And let's go ahead and get into our cool down workout.